Welcome to H2K Infosys. H2K Infosys is a e-verify business based in Atlanta, Georgia, United States. We provide 100% job-oriented, instructor-led, face-to-face, true live online software training programs. It also includes access to Cloud Test Lab with software tools. We provide live project for you to work on. We also provide assistance with mock interviews, resume preparation and review, and job placement assistance. H2K Infosys is trusted by so many students across the world. H2K Infosys provides world-class services in IT training with real-time project work for corporates and individuals, special IT training for MS students in the United States, software design, development, QA manual and automation, performance testing and maintenance, IT staff augmentation, job placement assistance, and tech support.
I think maybe for tomorrow's class, I get told for you folks. Forgive me for today. And if you want to eliminate the duplicate values or you want to get the distinct values, we use the keyword distinct to get the unique columns from a table. The keyword that is used is distinct. And we use the where class to extract records based on a specific criteria, or if you want to filter the records with some criteria, we use the where class. So after the select, we use the keyword where, and we specify the column name, the operators, and the value. So we have different kind of operators: equal, not equal, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, between, like, in. So these are like the normal relational operators that we usually see: equals, not equal, greater than, less than. So what does between do? Here I can say, let's start from actor. See, it's giving me the actor IDs, the rows where the actor ID is between 1 and 10. And if you want to say the specific elements, I can say 1, 2, 3. Have the between and in. You can, instead of saying equal to a specific value, we can check the equality against multiple values using in and between. In the specific values that we specify in the comma separated format, and between it includes the range basically. And when we have strings, we want to search with a specific pattern, we use like. And we have, like, say, the first name here, wherein we can first name or last name. Percentile means like it could be anything. So folks, what is the data that the query returns me, that this particular query returns? Folks, anyone? I'm sure many of you has the answer.
Anything that starts with smaller lowercase p.
Anything that starts with lowercase p.
All first names that
starts with. So if I say this, what happens?
Anywhere you have p.
Yes, this contains p, right? So these are different kind of operators that we could use, with a column name and a specific value or a specific pattern. So these are different kind of operators that are allowed in the where class. And we have the and or operators. These and or operators have similar kind of meaning what we have for a logical and or. So if I have more than one criteria, right? So I want to get the actors whose first name starts with P and whose last name starts with Z. So what should I do? I have to use the N class, right? And last name like. I want to check whose last name starts with Z, let's say for example. I have two records, right? So if I want to get the actors whose first name is P or their last name is Z, I use the OR class or operator. We get all the actors whose first name is P, and we get all the actors whose last name is Z also. It could be either or, right? Either one criteria gives us back the results. And we have the order by to sort the data that is returned. So the order by keyword is used to sort the result set by specific column. So if I want to sort the records based on first name, right? I have just written this for you. And if I want to say order by first name, the values get sorted based on the first name. You see it, we're getting in alphabetical order, right? So if you want the other way around, if you want to reverse the order, what should I do?
Mention descending order.
By default, it is ascending. If you want to have the descending order, or you can explicitly say ASC also, if you want to get it in a descending order, use this. And could we use multiple columns? Folks, anyone, could we use multiple columns? We can use multiple columns first if they have the same first name, let's say, they get sorted based on the last name. So are these very, very basic for you? I mean, for people who already know database, I know these things are basic. With the order by, we can use ASC or DESC. By default, it's ascending order. So the insert syntax, right? We have two forms that we can actually use it. We can specify the column names, or we don't need to specify the column name. When we don't need to specify the column name, we have to put all the values in the same order that is expecting, or the structure of the table is. But if we specify the columns, we need not necessarily insert values for all the columns. If we have, let's say, 5 columns, I can insert data in only 3 columns, and the others I can do. When we create the table itself, we can say that this column can be null or not. Let's just see that. Let's say I have this table. Right? So this is the create syntax. Create table, we are saying actor ID. We're saying unsigned. And see, we are saying it as not null. So this column cannot be null. We cannot put a null value into this column. But if you don't specify it, that particular column can be null. So when we are creating the table itself, we can specify if a column can be null or not. If it is a nullable column, we need not necessarily insert data in that specific column. But if a column is not null, if a column is specified as not null in the creation, we have to insert a value to it. So these are the two ways. This is the first form. This does not specify the column name. It specifies only the value. And in the second form, we specify the column name as well as the values for the columns respectively. And what is the syntax of an update statement? Update table name. We can set multiple columns as comma separated, where column name is equal to, this is the filter criteria. If you don't use the where class, it updates all the records with some value. Let's say I go here and, if you just want to update a specific row, right? Usually, folks, when you do an update or delete, first we do a select and see that we are getting the exact rows that we want to update or that we want to delete. Because if we update the data or if we delete the data, the data gets manipulated. And if you have like rollbacks, that's fine. If you're like doing an auto commit or something, it's always better. Even though you have rollbacks, it is always better to do a select and see what are the rows it's returning before we perform an update or delete. So in the update, we can update more than a column with a specific value by specifying the comma separator. Set what column and specify value to use, and column 2 and specify value. And this list can go on. So this where class specifies. In the select, if you specify a where class, it specifies what the records we want to fetch. When we specify it in the update class, the where class specifies the records that should get modified. And the delete is delete from table. We specify the where class. The where class syntax, how it could be used is same for select, update, or delete. These are the basic CRUD operations that we perform with the database. So, folks, any doubts on this CRUD operations? I'm sure that's like more a kind of basics to many people. But before going to JDBC and starting something, we want everyone to have the basics, to understand the DDL, DML, and they should be familiar with the CRUD operations before we go ahead with JDBC. That's the purpose we explain the SQL basics. That's why we explicitly say them as SQL basics. So, folks, for everyone, any doubts in this?
Do we have this inner join and outer join stuff?
We're not actually discussing it right now. We just discussed the basics of SQL.
No, what I'm trying to say is, anyhow, in Hibernate, I think we need to use this inner and outer join.
Oh, you're asking in database, do we have inner joins and outer joins?
Yeah, are you going to teach that one? That's what I'm asking.
No, we are not teaching it.
Okay.
We are just covering the SQL basics.
Okay. Sure.
But folks, as we got into, I want to explain those things because they are also very, very important. Of course, that someone has brought it up. Folks, when do we use joins? What is the join is for when it comes to a database? We use joins when we want to fetch data from multiple tables, right? So let's say, when I have multiple tables and there should be some relation that exists between those tables. Let me see if okay, so here we have a staff table, right? Here, the staff table has a column stored ID. You see it here? This staff table has a column stored ID, which is referenced over here. Let's say I want to fetch data from both these tables, right? So what happens if I just say select star from staff and books? Could someone tell me what is the result of this? What is the data that I'm going to get? When we do this, it returns as the Cartesian product. The Cartesian product of both these tables. What is the Cartesian product? The rows in the first, each row in the first table, it matches with the other table. Folks, these kind of joint syntaxes are different across different databases. Like in something, we just use, in Oracle, we use the plus sign and, saying like, where specific, we say staff dot stored ID is equal to store dot stored ID. Or here what we can say, inner join store, I think it's on with SQL. So when I say inner join, what happens is it gets records from both the tables only when there is a match in both these tables. When I say match, the match column that we are using is the stored ID, right? Let's say I'm doing. Why am I getting an error here? I'm sorry, folks. This editor.
Select star from is 2 times.
So we have two records here, and if you observe this specific column store ID, we have 1 and 2. It's referencing a foreign key column to the store table. Means we can insert the values in the specific column. The values that are present in the store table can only be inserted in this store ID column in the staff table. So when we do an inner join, it gets the results only if there is a match in both the tables. That is about inner join. And we have the outer join. When we do a left outer join, we use outer joins to get records, even though when there is no match in both the tables. When we say left outer join, it gets records, all the records from the left table, irrespective of there is a match or not in the right table, and vice versa for the right outer join. Joins are basically, used to retrieve data from more than one table. I'm very sorry. I should have installed Toad or some IDE that I'm really familiar with. So folks, when you do an inner join, right, we don't have real data that doesn't have a match. So when we do an inner join, it's you can see it's fetching the rows that are common. So we get the columns that are present in the staff table, and we are getting the columns that are present in the store table also, the address ID and all these things, right? So folks, you understand what joins offer and what's the difference between inner and outer join? Hello? So we are just discussing like the basics of SQL to start with, and there are more things in SQL like using, let's say, like the group by class and having class and all that. So if we have multiple rows, like we can group it on a specific column, like let's say different staff probably. Okay, let me. So here we have like two rows in this table with stored ID as 2, with stored ID as 1 and 2, right? So if ever I have like the same data, if I have like many rows, and let's say I have some rows with stored ID as 1 and I have some rows with stored ID as 2, right? So if I want to get the stored ID and the count and the number of staff that are present, let's say in a that are assigned to a specific store, like I can say select stored ID, and we use count to get the number of records for it. So I say count of staff ID So folks, I get an error when I execute this query. So someone tell me why will I be getting this error? Like when I'm using this count, when I do a select, I get an error because I'm using an aggregate function. So could someone tell me why will I be getting an error? When I'm doing some aggregation, right? I should be grouping. I should group that on a specific column. I want to get the count of staff, but on what basis exactly I want to get the count of staff? That is specified using the group by class. So folks, whatever we want to use, we use in a select statement, right? They should be present in the group by class also. So if we have some columns that are specified in the select class, let's say I'm specifying here the stored ID, right? That specific column should be present in the group by class also. Like, this kind of different things that we have to learn more actually. So folks, I mean, it looks like many of you already know like the basics in database, right? Or like, is there someone who are like completely new to database?
Yeah, can you explain group by function again? I'm a little. I mean, I used it a long time ago, but I haven't.
Yeah, group by class is basically used to group records based on one or more columns, right? We are trying to group these records based on a specific column. Let's say, for the store ID, there are many staff. So we are grouping those records based on a specific column. And then when we group them, we want to get the count of it. We want to get the count of, like in this case, we want to get the count of staff that are created for a specific store.
Group by function is for inner or outer join, or it can be for.
I mean, we can use it. Like it need not necessarily be used with joins also. I can on this plain table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can use group by. On the plain table, I can use group by. So store ID 1, I have 1 star, and for store ID 2, I have 1, right? That's what we have seen, right? When you have more than 1, it actually gives the specific count of it.
Thanks.
So usually when, I don't think we don't write SQL queries more, but in many of the projects, there are some projects which actually write SQL queries, but in many projects, we actually use ORM frameworks like Hibernate or iBattles to do selects and all these things. We don't like many projects doesn't write SQL queries, but obviously we should have command on the SQL. If you know the concept, that's fine, because the syntax actually it varies from database to database. As long as you know the concept, you are good. Because the syntax, you can easily go to Google and get it. That's not a big deal. But what you have to know to me are the concepts of the database. And we can use the having class along with the group by, let's say, associated count. And this having class is used to filter the aggregation, let's say. As a having count equal to 0. What will be my output for? Nothing, right? Because I'm telling I want to get the results having count is equal to 0. At least one count I want to get it. So when I do that, I get both these records, right? You understand the group by and having class? I mean, they are like day-to-day used class along with where and all this. Okay, do you understand the group by and having class?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure many of you already know database concepts, right? At least the basics.
Yes.
Okay. You know something, say yes. You should confidently say yes.
Yes.
Folks, and the W3 Schools is a very good website for learning SQL. It has smaller things, the joins and all that. It's like for people who for newbies or for people who already know database. If you just want to have a brush up of it, you can go through the SQL in the W3 Schools. So folks, anyone did the assignment? The Java assignment that I have given? Folks, I'm expecting at least one of you will do the assignment and explain to everyone in the class. Folks, are you able to hear me? I mean, anyone have issues? Manoj, can you hear me? Folks, everyone able to hear me? Please say yes or no. Okay, thanks, Sarush. Looks like Manoj is having some audio issue. Because I'm just wondering, my voice is really bad today. So, folks, anyone tried the assignment at least? Venkat, Shelina, Rose, Sachet, Manoj, Uday.
Assignment about the range one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I'll be glad if someone does it and explains for everyone in the class. I expect at least one of you should finish it. That's the reason I'm giving time.
So you need to get that string of range, split it with string split.
Yes, finally, I want a program which can check if the number is present in the string. Is the range string.
What's that?
I have asked to write a program wherein you can check a number can be found in a range.
Yeah, that's what I'm explaining.
Okay. No.
I mean, I didn't code a program, but I think so. That might be the answer.
Yeah, I have already explained on how to do it. I'm sorry, I thought you were asking about the question. So folks, if someone did it, you can email me the code, the program, and you can explain it in the class. Anyone else who has already finished it. So folks, what is JDBC? What is JDBC?
Java database connectivity.
Yeah, Java database connectivity. So what is Java database connectivity? We have an API, the Java API for doing the database interaction. So the Java program to communicate with a wide range of databases. We have an API. API is nothing but a group of classes and interfaces. We call it as an API.
Yes.
So,
what is API? I'm sorry, I missed it. What is API?
A set of classes and interfaces. When you say there is an API for database connectivity, what do we actually have? We have some set of classes and some set of interfaces for doing the database connectivity. That's what we call it as an API. When you say we have an API, there are nothing but classes and interfaces. So we have the API to make a connection with the database.
So many of our students have given testimonials on how our training programs are. You will find them on kudzu.com and on our website H2K On our website H2K you will also find more detailed information on who we are, the courses that we offer, what each course covers. Also, if you're interested in a demo program, please register on our homepage on the left-hand side. Just give us more information about yourself and we will send you a link for a demo class. The demo class is absolutely free. Experience our commitment by just attending an orientation workshop at no cost. Our team of faculty and advisors are here to guide you with the right information. If you still have more questions, please feel free to call us. Call us at 770-777-1269. This is a United States number. If you're calling from the UK, call us at 020-337-17615. You can also email us at training@h2kinfosys.com or h2kinfosys@gmail.com. Thank you for watching our videos. We wish you a great career in information technology.